It can be one of the most frustrating moments where in the very final stage you get overtaken by another competitor who still has slightly bit more energy left than you and you end up losing the race. That is exactly what we're going to show you in this video, so prepare yourself for something that's in a league of its own. We've got 12 such sprints and every sprint gets more impressive, which means non-stop thrill and excitement. This first sprint is from the Tour de France 2022 Stage 2, where Jakobsen achieved his first ever Tour de France stage win. At the first turn, he was in the 7th position, but that wasn't something to worry about because the race had just begun. The crowd was cheering on both sides of the track, hoping to see their favorites cross the finish line and win the race for them. Initially, Van Aert was riding at 45 km per hour, while Jakobsen was going at 43 km per hour, just a little bit slower than Van Aert. As the race entered its final moments, the riders sprinted over 60 km per hour. A big group of riders pushed themselves forward trying to win the race, but in the end it was Jakobsen who managed to cross the finish line first and claim his first Tour de France stage win. What a way to get the first victory by beating a masterclass like Van Aert. The following sprint is from Stage 5 of the Tour de France 2024. In a race of the favourites, there was a display of pure sprinting skills by Mark Cavendish as he claimed his 35th Tour de France victory. This was a massive moment as Cavendish set a new record for the most stage wins. He maintained a good position and showed his experience by timing his sprint to perfection. Cavendish crosses the finish line, lifts his hands high, and shows the world how legendary his sprinting skills are. After pulling off this incredible achievement, he was almost lost for words and exclaimed, "Wow, I'm in a bit of disbelief." In this clip, we have a nail-biting performance in the Amstel Gold Race in 2021. We bet you have never seen a photo finish like this. As the race entered its final few phases, 3 riders were leading the charge. Thomas Pidcock at the front, Maximilian Schachmann close behind, and of course, Van Aert keeping pace. It was clear that one of these 3 would take the win, most probably Pidcock, but Van Aert launched his sprint first, and the other 2 followed with everything they had. The crowd was on the edge of their seats with their blood pumping. Van Aert and Pidcock crossed the finish line almost at the same time, with Van Aert just a few centimeters ahead. What a masterclass sprint by Van Aert. This next photo finish is from Stage 6 of the Tour de France in 2024, where the crowd was roaring as Mathieu van der Poel set up Philipsen in a prime position. 4 riders almost side by side racing towards the finish line. It seemed that Philipsen was gonna take the win, but then, out of nowhere, Dylan Groenewegen made his move. Groenewegen launched his attack like a rocket, coming out from behind and pushing the speedometer to 66 km per hour. The photo finish was so tight that the margin of victory was a mere quarter of a wheel. We know Groenewegen is one of the fastest sprinters in the world, and here he proves it again. This race from the Tour de France in 2023 seemed to be the one where Mark Cavendish would win his 35th stage and set a world record. As the race reached its climax, Cavendish launched into an impressive sprint, going all out to the finish line. The crowd's excitement was really high as they knew this would be a record-breaking moment. But then, all of a sudden, Jasper Philipsen crosses Cavendish from the left right before the finish line. Cavendish looked hopelessly across his left shoulder as he saw Philipsen snatch the win from him. Philipsen's masterful move earned him his 3rd stage win in the 2023 Tour de France, leaving Cavendish with 34 stage wins. Here, Philipsen was again trying to spoil the winning moments, but this time it was not Cavendish. With just 500 meters to go, things became unpredictable and hyped. The riders were prepared for a thrilling finish on the uphill stage. Mads Pedersen unleashed a spectacular long sprint, pushing his limits and keeping the crowds on their toes. Philipsen, chasing closely behind, was just inches away from snatching his 4th stage win and spoiling the day for Pedersen. Philipsen pushed really hard, trying to steal that #1 spot, but it seemed like things weren't in his favor. And just like that, Pedersen crossed the finish line and claimed the deserving victory in Stage 8 of the Tour de France 2023. This one shows why you call Peter Sagan one of the greatest riders of this generation. During the 2016 World Championship in Qatar, Sagan delivered a stunning performance that showcased his exceptional sprinting abilities. As the riders raced towards the finish line, Sagan launched his sprint with such a mastery that his powerful pedal strokes looked like a well-oiled machine, and he seemed to be flying towards the finish line, clinching the World Championship title. It's been 7 years, but this sprint is still among the most talked about moments in cycling history. Stage 5 of the Giro d'Italia 2017 was a thriller, where it was almost anybody's game. Riders flew down the final stretch side by side, turning up the pressure and excitement for everyone watching. However, it was Fernando Gaviria who ultimately seized the moment. With a shocking display of power and skill, Gaviria snatched the victory and made it a memorable day for the entire cycling community. This one is from the last stage of Tour de France in 2023. Philipsen on the front was looking strong as he powered towards the finish. With a quick glance over his shoulder to ensure his lead, Philipsen didn't realize he would see his defeat coming. Out of nowhere, Jordi Moos launched a spectacular sprint in the final milliseconds, stealing the victory right at the line. His incredible effort and timing made this sprint one of the greatest finishes in Tour de France history. Moos's unbelievable victory reminded everyone that in the world of cycling, it's never over until the finish line. Here's another close finish from stage 11 of Tour de France in 2020. With just 200 meters to go, 4 riders, including Van Aert, were tearing down the track for the victory. With every pedal stroke, the crowd's excitement rose higher and higher. In the end, it was Caleb Ewan who turned out to be the star of the day, crossing the finish line just millimeters ahead of his competitors. That's why every second and even millisecond counts in a sprint finish. This exciting clip shows the ending moments of the race when the riders were about to sprint to the finish line, and every one of them started looking behind continuously to see their competitors. When the sprint launched, the entire group went like a rocket, aiming to win the race and, of course, the hearts of the viewers. Among them, Mathieu van der Poel was quite a distance behind the leading riders, and that was a perfect time to show his sprinting skills. He pushed himself really hard, and against all odds, he managed to clinch the victory at the Amstel Gold Race in 2019. That's what you call a comeback. Lastly, we have this amazing sprint, and you can definitely call it one of the top 3 best moments of Mark Cavendish. On this day, Hausler was looking in a strong position to win Milano-San Remo. He was at the front with the peloton trailing just a few seconds behind. The crowd was already gearing up to celebrate Hausler's victory, but just when everyone thought it was over, Mark Cavendish pulled off an incredible move. In the very last moment, Cavendish sprinted with explosive energy and unparalleled speed and went past Hausler. The two crossed the finish line almost together, but Cavendish edged ahead by the tiniest margin to snatch the victory in what can only be described as an absolutely breathtaking finish. This was an absolute stunner that you don't see every day in cycling, and that's why it deserves the #1 spot on our list. So there you have it. The 12 cycling sprint finishes where riders showed their incredible speed, stamina and determination to change the outcome at the very last moment. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and make sure to subscribe for more exciting content like this. And if interested, click on the video appearing on your screen right now.